Hey guys, welcome back to the dojo. I'm Ivan Witteborg, one of the TAs here for the Photoshop and Illustrator Unleashed course. And we're going to jump into the Making Connections assignment. So let's get those assignments up here. I'm just going to pick out a few students to look through their work and just share some examples of what you guys have been doing. Really awesome work so far. I'm just really excited that you guys are just bringing some great work to this course. So first up is Dana with the pen tool exercise. And right off the bat, Dana's vector paths for each one of these uh, illustrations are spot on. She's using as few vector points as possible. Um, she's not having any weird Bezier handles. They're very straight and very, very clean and smooth looking. And I really like how she added a bit of style to this, went a little bit over and I really like how she added her own style to this, adding some color. These thick strokes really work really, really well. Some gradients in the background works really, really well. I think the color choices for this last one could be improved a little bit. I think the contrast with the background and the the illustration of the pipe is a little bit hard on the eyes because they're both very, very dark in value. So if you could brighten up either the background or darken the pipe a little bit, I think that would help out a lot with that one. But awesome job with the pen tool. And Dana actually did the heart, the 2-point heart challenge as well. And I really love this illustration she came up with, just adding, again, a bit of energetic style to that, and did a great job making this heart with just 2 points. Once you figure it out, it's actually kind of like, oh wow, like that's a really great thing to know, that you can make such a complex shape with only 2 points in Illustrator. So really great job on this, Dana. So now I'm going to hop into Gianna's work, and Gianna really did a great job trying to keep this a little bit more sketchy rather than trying to make it look perfect and geometric on some of these illustrations. But some feedback that I gave Gianna on this one, she actually had these paths as having fills and strokes. And for something like this, you don't really need to give it a fill and a stroke, and that's going to actually make it a little bit more difficult to actually line up the points with one another when you have the fill and the stroke both the same color. So for this, you could really just have no stroke and just a fill. But when you're making these paths, make sure that the points, if they're meant to be continuous through the whole thing, make sure those points are actually like on top of each other in the exact same point. And you can use your smart guides in order to help you kind of click those points into to snap those points where you need them to be. And that'll help prevent some of this kind of overlap and kind of weird stuff happening when you have a lot of vector points all around each other. Um, Same thing here with the cactus. Some of the vector points aren't exactly lining up, and when you're looking at it far away, you sometimes don't catch it, but it's those details that we need to look out for in order to make sure that we're having very clean vectors, very purposeful ways that we're putting down our points. For this car illustration, I thought she did a really great job kind of taking the other approach of making it more kind of perfecting some of the sketchiness. And one little bit of advice I gave her is with this stroke here on the top, it's a little bit too thin, but it's a little bit almost hard to see. It's almost, you almost don't see it at first, but it is there, and so it's a little bit hard on the eye. So I would say either just get rid of the stroke, or you can make it a little bit thicker like some of these others to give it a little bit more presence in the composition. And she did a really great job with this fox, giving it kind of the vector clean look, but still leaving it a little bit loose, leaving it a little bit sketchy, following Jake's sketches on that. So awesome job, Gianna. Keep it up. All right, I'm going to jump over to Jay's work. And Jay, you spent a good bit of time on the colors, and you did an awesome job on that. I especially love what you did with the rose. You got these gradients on here. having really great shadows between these petals here. And even before that, like all of your vector points are perfect. I mean, they're following the sketches perfectly. It seems like you're not using any extra points. The Bezier handles look great. Um, a few things that I told Jay is that this kind of green outline, it seems to kind of be taking away from this a little bit. It's a little bit hard to see because it's kind of thin. Maybe even adding a little bit of a flat shadow underneath this lip here could kind of do the same, achieve the same thing, but maybe look a little bit better. Because I think the green outlines is just a little bit too thin to see. I think you did an awesome job on the shadow here. You have a clear direction of light. You have this really soft drop shadow right here. One thing that I did notice is that these points right here, they look like corners and not curves. So maybe checking that out, Jay. Make sure that that. So maybe checking that out, Jay, and making sure that those are smooth points over there. All right, last up we have Joey. And Joey, oh my goodness, you did an amazing job. All of your vectors are looking very smooth. All of your vector paths are very smooth. You're using as least amount of points as you needed to get the job done. But you're choosing such awesome color schemes, and I really love how simple your color choices are, but they're making these illustrations look really, really nice. And I especially love the flames or leaves that you have here with this guitar. I mean, this looks amazing. So Jay, you did an awesome job on that. And we have his tracing sketches here. Jay was saying he was a little bit confused or just had a hard time with figuring out how to color in these things. And there's definitely a few ways to go about it. I mean, you could trace these shapes individually, so you would have a little bit of overlapping lines there. You could also use the Pathfinder tool. Jay even mentioned using the live paint bucket tool. All of those are definitely good solutions to that. I would definitely just make sure that your vector points and vector lines are lining up so there's not any weird paths overlapping and showing through, and you're seeing what's underneath and all of that kind of stuff. And Jay, this cactus one, I just love the colors that you chose here. You said you had a lot of fun just messing around with the colors in this, and I think it really shows that you're just enjoying the process in this course, and I'm really excited to see that happening. But overall, Jay, awesome job here. Great job, everybody. Really love the work that you're doing. Really excited to see what you guys are going to come up with next week. See you next time on the dojo.